Welcome to Reelfoot Forward, a West Tennessee podcast from Discovery Park of America in Union City, Tennessee. Today's episode is brought to you by the Citizens Bank.
Thank you, Zach, and welcome to Reelfoot Forward, a West Tennessee podcast where we explore the history, the people, and the culture of our home in West Tennessee. I'm your host, Scott Williams. Okay, Zach, before I get started, what is something that you discovered this week at Discovery Park of America?
I discovered in our regional history gallery the frog gig that we have on loan here. Frog gigging is a popular sport on the banks of the Reelfoot Lake, and so I thought this would be a good episode to discover something like that.
That's perfect. I actually frog gigged when I was a kid.
I've actually never done it.
Have you not? Have you ever eaten frog legs?
I have not.
It's not enough meat on them to matter, but I mean, you could fry a stick, in my opinion, and just, suck the crust off and call it frog legs. So our guests today are a couple of guys I've really been looking forward to talking to, Amos Smith and Pete Morgan, who are the brain men behind Surviving Reelfoot, a reality competition series modeled after Survivor and filmed in the scenic wilds around Reelfoot Lake here in Northwest Tennessee. Welcome, guys.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
So before we jump into Surviving Reelfoot and how that all came about, let's cover you guys and where you grew up. And we'll start with you, Pete. Tell me a little bit about where you grew up and what your path was to Surviving Reelfoot.
Okay. Well, I grew up in Stewart County, Tennessee, which is around the Dover, Land Between the Lakes area. Went to high school there, left and went to college and ended up in education in the Murray City school system. I came to Fulton as Kentucky's youngest principal in the state at age 29.
Wow.
Fulton is a small independent district.
Yeah.
Finished out my career there. Retired in 2006. And
so you stayed there. You stayed there all those years.
People thought I would come and go because I wasn't from there. I didn't know anybody there. But I had a good friend, Dan Bogley, if anyone knows Dan Bogley from Fulton, Kentucky. And he told me, if you stay long enough to wear a pair of shoes out, Fulton will become home. And I use that saying with a lot of people. I raised two boys there who are now 44 and 42. It is their home. Neither of them live there. One's in Seattle and one's in Nashville. But it's a small town. I love the small town flair. I grew up in a small town in Stewart County called Bumpus Mills. It was a good fit for us. And so that's where I went and retired in 2006, ran for public office, was told I couldn't win because I'm not from there. And I won that election by 20 votes after a recount.
Oh, wow.
I would do that for 1 or 2 terms. I'm in my 5th term, starting my 20th year.
And what is your capacity? What role?
State office. It is the property valuation administrator. It's a fancy word for tax assessor. Every county in Kentucky has one, but we fall under the governor and the Department of Revenue. We are not a county office. We do not fall under county jurisdiction. We fall under state. It's been a good job for me, but I am 69 and will be going out of office in December of 26. How did I find Reelfoot? And that was a great story. I had a friend play in season 2, and she and I were big CBS Survivor followers. And so she encouraged me to reach out to this email, webpage, Facebook page. And so I did. I reached out to someone who I didn't know was on the other end and said, I'd like to be your first 60-year-old. And this person, or this thing, ended up being this thing, replied and said, I'd love to have a 60-year-old. Please apply. I applied. I was cast for season 3 and been with Amos ever since. I do want to jump here and just tie Discovery Park into season 3 if I can.
Yeah, please.
We found a new location for season 3. It was in Fulton County. As the PBA, I was able to find us a much wilder environment. And on that piece of property was an old, like a quarry.
Okay.
when they were digging that quarry, they found the peccary that now is located at Discovery Park in the dinosaur exhibits. That
That's interesting.
peccary came from the same site where we played season 3.
I wish that was my
on
discovery for today.
That could have been. Yeah.
I was on the chamber. I was president of the chamber, and that peccary was housed in the old Carnegie building here in Hickman, Kentucky. And when Discovery Park started opening, I reached out to them and felt that needed to be somewhere else. We were told that the original was in the Smithsonian Institute, and that we only had a cast. But when you all came and got that and did work on it, the people that was setting up the dinosaur exhibit reached out to me and said that you have the original. The cast must be at the Smithsonian. So whenever I come through Discovery Park, and we do bring, sometimes our survivor cast can win a challenge, and it's a reward. And part of that reward is coming to Discovery Park to see the earthquake video, how Reelfoot was founded. I always stop to show them the peccary that came from season 3 site.
We'll have to put a picture of that in the show notes, Zach. That's really fascinating. I had no idea, and I didn't know that you guys were coming here as a reward. We will really roll out the red carpet.
Well, you always have.
Okay, good.
All I've had to do is reach out. I'm a season ticket holder. I'm an original from the year it first opened.
Oh, nice.
So I just reach out, and I don't think they charge us a thing. All we want to do, because we don't have a lot of time, is I want them to see the video of how Reelfoot was founded, so they can kind of get an idea of where we are. Yep. You know, it's a short video, but it's a very interesting video. Yeah. And then I show them the peccary, the dinosaurs, and then we pretty well leave, but we don't have the hour or 2 that I wish we had, because it is during the game. But the cast members that have come, they come dirty. They're dirty, and they're conscious of that. But we do get stopped by people. Who are you guys? And but it's a great field trip, I'm going to say, as an old educator, for them to come and do. So I talk way too much. I'm sorry. I'm sure you'll edit a lot of that out. But that's my connection. And that's
amazing. Maybe we need to do a subsidiary small series show, Surviving Discovery Park, where they can, we have bike riders that come through here, and they actually sleep inside for 3 nights and 4 days. And so,
are you aware the walkers are out today? They just arrived in Hickman by ferry, and they're walking your direction. Yeah. I would say we had about 150, 200 walkers come through Hickman this morning.
Yeah, I see them every year walking, and every year it's fascinating to see them. They start to spread out as they go. Much. Yeah. So
it took me about 40 minutes to get to Hickman from Union City today.
So many walkers. They walk 30 miles a day for 10 days and end up in northern Georgia.
It's crazy, isn't it?
300 and something miles.
And I tell you what, they're going to be hot today. Yeah. So Amos, tell us about you. Where did you come from?
I was raised in around like Walnut Log, Sandburg, just around Reelfoot Lake. So I've been here my whole life. So I went to school in Hornbeak, which they just closed. And then I graduated from Obion County. I have a sister. I'm married. I've got 2 sons, twins. They're 5 years old, that I've been raising since they were 7 months old. I don't know. I don't have as interesting as a story as Pete, but
I'm sure you do. I'm sure you do. So back us up a little bit. So where does this kid from Walnut Log, obviously you've accomplished a great thing. Where, did you get inspired through your childhood? Because there's a lot of people listening who may be raising a kid in a rural community, and they're wanting to inspire them to see beyond. How did that happen for you?
Well, growing up, I've always had big dreams. I've always wanted to do stuff with like the movies and TV. So, and I've always loved Survivor since 2000. So, since the very first season. So I thought, well, this would be really fun to like just do for a day. And this was before, there's a lot of these games that kind of pop up everywhere, but we were one of the first ones. And out there, so there wasn't any like inspiration for how to do it. So I just and I actually applied for Survivor in 2010, and I got a call back, and they flew me to LA, and I kind of got to through the casting process for that, and that was really fun. So I got to learn how that part, like the behind the scenes stuff, worked, and I thought I could totally do this. So there's these games online that you can play. It's called online reality games. We call them orgs, and a bunch of people that I play these games with, I was like, if I hosted one of these, would y'all want to play it? And they were like, yeah. So they came out to Tennessee. It was 11 people in my mother-in-law's backyard. And now over the years, like I didn't intend on it to be a series. And then people were like, you should do another one. This was really fun. I was like, okay. So it kind of, every year for the first 2 or 3 years, it just kind of became a fly by the seat of my pants kind of thing. Like let's do another one. And now it's a complete series. And now we're on this like 300-acre property over in Hornbeak, and we host people from literally all over the world. We've hosted people from 4 different countries. Last year we had 2 Australians come in and Canadians, and we've had people from the UK and literally coast to coast US. So that, and then as far as, people that want to chase their dreams with kids, like I just recently kind of got into like acting and stuff. So I signed with an agent in 2022. So I do a lot of my stuff in Knoxville, which is where my agency is. So I've gotten to work with Dolly Parton on a movie a couple years ago, and I do TV shows here and there. And then I've just recently met a producer that I'm writing 2 TV shows that she's wanting to pitch to a network or streaming service. So just kind of got into it that way. But, just because you're from the middle of nowhere and have no connections doesn't mean you can't make them. So,
yeah, no, that's fantastic. So what was it like when you first started telling people that you were going to host a real, and I tell you what, before I ask that question, I want to ask a different question. Can you talk us through what exactly it is that you are putting together there in the middle of that 300-acre property so that people can kind of get an understanding of what it is that you're actually doing?
Yeah. So we have, this year we had our biggest production team ever, 24 people come in, and all these people are past players that take their vacation time to come out and literally work for 8 days. And they pay to come and do this, to work for us. But we take Survivor's now 26 days show and condense it down to 8 days. So we have a whole casting process. We just opened applications if y'all are interested in applying for next year.
And we'll put a link to that in the show notes. So anybody who wants to apply, and I'm going to ask you more about that in a few minutes, but carry on.
So it takes us about 11 months. We take about 3 weeks off after each one, and then we pick up and start planning the next one. So we just started planning the next one. We have a whole casting process. We do interviews, and we can't interview everybody. Last year we interviewed over 100 people and still didn't interview everybody that applied. This year we've already got almost half of that in the 3 days the applications have been open. So
where do you do your interviews?
We do them through we have Facebook chats with everybody. So we just do them like this. Some people prefer Zoom. Because, we have people literally from all over. We've got Canadians already applying and everywhere else. So we take these people, we choose our cast usually around Thanksgiving, between Thanksgiving and the first week of December. We spend about 6 months getting them ready because some of these people have never been outside a day in their life, like camping, nothing. So we prepare them, and the property that we're on is known for rattlesnakes. So we educate people on what they look like, where their habitat is, and then once they actually get on site, it's just like the TV show. We divide them up into their teams. They have very limited supplies. Sometimes they go days with eating nothing but white rice. They have to build their shelter. They have to make their fire with flint, just like you see on the TV show. We try to keep it as authentic and genuine as possible for what you see. And then we have a whole challenge team. They come in, they build our challenges for us. They compete, just like the show. If they lose, they go vote people out.
One thing I keep wondering when I'm watching the clips on Facebook, I ride my bike around Reelfoot Lake sometimes, and the other day a mosquito picked me up and carried me about 10 feet before it set me down. So do you let these people have mosquito repellent?
We do. We provide some, but we encourage people to bring their own and sunscreen. And we also tell them about 2 weeks before to start taking garlic pills, because that's over the years we've found that helps.
Have you heard of that, Scott?
I did not. I was just thinking I'm
pill,
going to do that.
A garlic pill is heart healthy. It's
Okay.
a safe vitamin or a supplement to take.
Okay.
It's not going to smell like garlic or reek of garlic, but for me, it really works, and my wife takes them religiously. There's something about that when it gets in your blood system, the ticks and or the biting bugs, whatever they might be, aren't that interested in you.
Well,
so
that alone is worth the price of this podcast for people to listen to. Zach, did you know that?
I did not.
I didn't. I'm going to start taking it.
Any Reelfooter. We have 150 alumni or more. I don't know. It keeps growing.
Close to 200.
But they'll tell you that we push garlic pills, and the people that take them usually walk away and say, "I didn't get many bug bites." The people who don't take them are eat up.
Huh. Well, I'm doing it because around here, as anybody knows, we have a lot of mosquitoes and ticks, and it's not good.
It's got to the point here the last about week or so, I can't even let my kids play outside because our mosquitoes are so bad.
Yep. No, it's very, very bad. So I'm sorry I had interrupted you. So you were telling me, what the people do. They come here from all over. And where do they stay when they first arrive?
So we have them come in a day early. They fly into Nashville. I know Memphis is closer, but we have drivers in Nashville. So we do, because we're 3 hours from the airport, they come in the day early. Pete and another guy that helps us usually will go pick them up while I'm working on the site, getting it ready. And then we just spread them out through hotels around Union City. So we make sure that they're not all at the same hotels. So they all get spread out. And then we start the game on a Saturday morning. So we'll go pick them up at their hotel and bring them on site. We quarantine them. They're not allowed to talk, just like on the show. There are some of these games out there. Some people know each other, but they're not allowed to talk. So they're not allowed to interact. So when they step on the mat for the first time, that's the first time that they're allowed to interact. We tell them what team they're on. We tell them they can have what the team colors are. They can bring team colored outfits. Some people like to coordinate that. Sometimes they don't. They change into their clothes and we start the game. We do a kind of a little spiel at the beginning, kind of go over some things and introduce our production team and who they are, and then they start the game. So they don't actually stay on site in the cabin with us until the very last night after the game is over, and then we leave a Sunday. It ends on the next Saturday, so it's Saturday to Saturday, and then Sunday morning everybody gets up and heads out.
Now, Pete,
here. Go ahead, ask me a question.
What was it like for you when you got there the first night? Were you how was it different than what you expected?
It's changed a lot.
In season 3, we used to meet at Amos's house, and he had a little meet and greet. So we did get to talk the night before. A lot of them stayed at Amos's house. It's changed a lot since then, but it's very intimidating. I will say the game starts the second your eyes fall up on somebody you think is playing. That happens when I bring them from Nashville, because I'll have 4 or 5 people riding with me as well as the other guy. We don't allow them to tell anything about themselves. They can't tell anybody in the car their name, where they're from, if they're married, what they do for a living. All of that's safe to be explored during the game. We can talk about the weather. We can talk about a movie. But I know that the game started. They're checking each other out when they get in that car, even though they don't know who they are or where they're from. So for me, it's intimidating. I did end up meeting my closest ally, my number 1, the night before at Amos's get together for season 3, and we did go all the way through the game as we stayed together and made the jury. We did stay together, so it's intimidating, but it's exhilarating. And I'm the old guy. See, I was 60, and they're all 20s and 30s, and so. And believe it or not, I always come off as a villain. I don't mean to come off as a villain, and we'll have to tell you that another day. But I quickly get kind of a villain rap with these kids really quickly.
So keep going, Amos. And so people get there, they're all ready to go. You give them the instructions. What are the type of challenges that they have to go through, and where do you come up with those?
Yeah. So we have a guy that he's great at building stuff and coming up with ideas, and we have a whole team that kind of works together on those. But we have challenges. We had this year, we bought this big floating platform, and we call it Sumo at Sea. So they have these big punching bags, and it's out on the lake. So one person from each team will face off, and they have to knock somebody into the lake. The person that falls in, loses, and the other person scores a point for their team. We have challenges that are more mental, like puzzle based. We have challenges that are endurance based. He built us this big long snake out of wood, and it was long and heavy. I mean, it probably weighed about 100 pounds.
It was a lot.
And they have to carry that. It's called Hot Pursuit around this arena, and they can drop if they want, but basically it's a game of tag, but you're carrying this 100-pound long wooden snake. We have some that are super simple challenges. So it's a variety of different things that we come up with. This past year, we had an outcast team. So the people that got voted out went to live at this camp, and they got to fight their way back in. We had a challenge. He built this big bamboo cage that they had to get this key out and unlock themselves and make this fire to burn through their rope. So it was really intense.
We pattern a lot of things after the show. And we have a very creative team who we also, obviously we have to alter them a little bit because we don't have the funds that CBS has. But man, our challenge team blows it out of the park every single season. And they are already working on new challenges. I'm the finance guy. So they're asking about funding. How much can they spend? It's an expensive endeavor to put on, but it's just like going on a safari or a hunting trip or people pay to go on these excursions. Well, they pay to come play an 8-day survivor game. And it's not about the money they win. We do have the largest winning prize, I believe, right now in the United States for a live reality game. We're also the longest running live reality game. But it's not about that. It's about finding yourself. And I have a saying, you don't have to walk away wearing the crown to walk away a winner. And I would say 100% of the people walk away with that attitude when they're done. Only one's going to wear the crown, but every one of them walk away a winner.
So what, Pete, surprised you the most about, and have you been in one season or have you been in multiple
I've
seasons?
actually played 5 games. I
Five
played
games,
2 in
okay.
Reelfoot, 1 in New York, Wisconsin, and Illinois.
What surprised you the most about, how people changed and evolved who were on the show?
That's easy. They come in with this attitude that they're not going to get to know anybody. They're only there to win. They have just come to win this game. They don't want to make any friends. They're going to stab people in the back. They're going to win this game no matter what it takes. Yes, we have villains who do things to try to win the game. They do want to win. Don't get me wrong, Scott. They want to win, but they walk away a different person. And we actually have incorporated into our prod team some counseling after this game. I remember I came home from every one of my games, and my wife said, "What's wrong with you?" She said, "Are you not happy to be home?" You come home, you're exhausted, physically, mentally, emotionally, you're drained, and you just can't walk back home into your job and be the same person you were when you left. It changes you. So that's what I've noticed. People come in like all puffed up, chest out, I'm here, get out of my way. And they go home much more humble and much more connected to their own self. They know they find themselves in this 8-day. And by the way, the 8-day will seem like 30. Every one of them says, "Oh my gosh, that seemed like an entire season of Survivor."
There was a girl, there was one day we eliminated, it was 5 people. And I remember by the end of the day, they were like, "Did Lachey get voted out today? Was that today or yesterday?" Because it seemed like so long ago, because each round just seems like it's a whole day. So we'll go for usually 16 to 18 hours a day from the time the sun comes up to the time it goes down around 8:30, 9 o'clock. And you're like, man, this day it seemed like it was days long.
It is days long. I mean, physically, it's days long.
I remember on the third day, it was Monday, and I was like, I feel like we've already been here for 8 days, and it was only Monday. But nobody goes home Saturday and Sunday, so they get the full 2-day experience before anybody's even eliminated. So that's one thing that we do that no other game does.
They pay to play this game, so we want to give them their adventure. So they start on Saturday. No one leaves till Monday. And then with the comeback camp, which we don't always have, but they have the choice to go to that comeback camp and stay, or they can come into the house with us and be done. But by far, 99.9% of them, we have had some done in 2 days. I'm ready to do something else. But most go to the comeback camp, which is another whole adventure, a great adventure led by this guy named Frank that is like a master of the game and of survival. And he's going to teach some things that you couldn't pay somebody to teach you. He is so good, but it also gives them 2 more days in the wild. So they're getting, while there may not be voting people out, they're getting ready to fight their way back in to come back into the game. And by the way, we've had 3 comebacks that have come back and won the game.
Well, two
I know.
2 have come back and won, and another one has made the finale. So every person who's ever come back has made the finale. But we had a woman this year. She said that she had more fun because of Frank in the comeback camp after she was voted out than she did when she was in the game, because he keeps them. They do competitions there too, and they can win stuff there as well. So it's a fun. My saying's always, just because your game's over doesn't mean your experience is over. So, and technically their game's not over, but even once they come into the house with us, we still try to give them a pretty good time, because they pay, and it is a $400 fee, by the way, for anybody that wanted to know.
And then what's the prize? What's the prize typically?
It varies year to year. We try to give at least $1,000. Last year it was $1,200. This year we were able to up it to $1,500. And honestly, it depends on a lot of how much it takes us each year to put it on, because we do new challenges each year. We have custom printed buffs that, like on the TV show, so they get
T-shirts, food. The food cost is astronomical, because you're not only so the Survivor crew's not eating, but we do give some food rewards. But we have a house full of 20-something hungry men and women. I call boys and girls. That's not who I am. That are hungry because they're working all day. So we have to provide them food for the whole week. And so the food cost is enormous. But this is a nonprofit. When I say nonprofit, Amos, me, and the other 2 guys that are on our main prod crew, we get nothing out of this. We spend our money, but we don't collect anything for doing this. Everything goes back into the game. So if I can give $1,500 and surprise them, I love it. It goes back to them.
That's incredible. I'm loving everything you guys are saying. The questions are coming as fast as you're talking in my head. We're going to take a quick break, and when we get back, we're going to ask some more of my questions that are popping in. And Zach, if you have a question, you can ask it after the break.
The Citizens Bank is a locally owned hometown bank that services the financial needs of the people, communities, and businesses in Hickman, Fulton, Union City, and the surrounding areas. They strive to offer customers a wide range of banking services with a personal approach. Stop in one of their 3 branches to see what they have to offer. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lending.
I hope you're enjoying Reelfoot Forward, a podcast from Discovery Park of America. If you are, please be sure to subscribe, rate, and leave a positive review on iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Our guests today are Amos Smith and Pete Morgan of Surviving Reelfoot. So one question I have any of the winners that have won on Surviving Reelfoot gone on to apply for or get on Survivor?
They all apply.
They all apply. It is almost everyone's goal to get a call from CBS. I've talked to CBS. They've called me. They wanted the older Southern guy. My problem is I'm an elected official, and they will not cast me as long as I'm in public office. Many of our guys have talked to CBS. Many have gone and interviewed with CBS. I am just waiting for the day that I see that cast reveal, because they can't tell us. But I see that cast reveal, and we are going to see a surviving Reelfoot person one of these days. I know it. Also, Big Brother. A lot of our people, CBS Survivor also cast for CBS Big Brother. And a lot of our people love Big Brother as well. So we've got one that's on our production that's talked to Big Brother twice and actually got cast and pulled back in the last 2 weeks and was not. Yes, you're going to see Surviving Reelfoot on one of those shows.
Do you find that the casts, after spending 8 days together doing this, do you find that they stay in contact with each other and continue their friendships?
They blow up our phones. They do a chat, a group chat, and we're part of it. I have to mute it. Season 13 is talking probably right now. If I look at my phone, they talk every day about game, about life, about what they're doing. But I guarantee if you get season 3 people together, and I'm actually going to be in New York in a few weeks with some season 3 people, you know what we'll talk about at dinner, at break, and at night when we're in our Airbnb, because we're on production, we will be talking about season 3 that was 10 years ago and what we could have done differently.
So have you thought about a reunion of all the seasons coming together for an event or a special? You could use Discovery Park.
Yeah, we've had a few meetups here and there. Usually, a big meetup area is Nashville. People tend to go to Nashville a lot. Sometimes they'll meet up in New York. Just depends. But yeah, I think a big reunion thing would be really fun. It's just getting everybody together is the part. We've got almost 200 alumni, so it's hard to get everybody,
And what we're noticing is the most recent alumni are staying a lot closer. Those that played 10 and 12 years ago are kind of dropping off the radar a little bit. And so we're trying to find a way to get them excited again. So now can I say what we've toyed with for 15?
Yeah.
Toyed. We're toying with the idea of a comeback season in 15 and maybe doing a battle of the seasons.
Oh, that's fun.
Something like that, and inviting people back to get the interest and excitement up all the way back to 1. We've had season 1 people come back and play in a comeback game in season 6, I believe. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think we need to kind of remember those people and try to start marketing them again. They're a valuable asset to our community. And so if we can do that, we're coming up with season 14. So if in 27, if we could pull off a comeback season and get some people back in, that'd be fun.
Zach, you have a question?
Well, I've been wondering this whole time, and I feel like I know the answer. I assume that they have to turn their phones off and have no connection to the outside world, right? But,
Great question.
So we take their phones and we put them in a safe place where only me and Pete have access to them in case of an emergency. But they fill out, waivers that they have to sign. We have an attorney and a doctor on staff with us as well. And our attorney's drawn up this very good waiver for us. So we keep all that, but their family has our contact information. We have theirs. So if there's an emergency, we can pull their phone or pull them out or whatever. Pete keeps a file on every person with like their medical stuff, their insurance card and everything like that. So, but we do take their phones for the week. If they make the jury, they do not get it back until the end, even though they're living in the house with us, because we don't want them to get on their phone and see something that might affect their jury vote at the end, because technically they're still in the game and they still have a duty to do. Mm-hmm. But if they're pre-jury and, they can have their phones back, things like that. But yeah, we do take those and they have no contact with anybody outside of us.
When they get voted out, if they're still in the jury, this has been interesting. I've seen some great phone calls. They get one phone call. If they're voted out of the game, but they're in the jury, they get a monitored phone call with a member of production. It's been me several years. It wasn't me this year. But they get to call their loved one for about 10 minutes or less with strict instructions. No conversation about the game. We can't have their loved one say, "You better watch that Tom, man. He's a backstabbing fool." Because they're watching on Facebook. So they can only check on how are things at home. But it gets so emotional, y'all. They cry. They cry for each other. I mean, they feel like they've been gone forever. How's the kids? And the tears streaming down their face as they talk to home. And they feel like they've been gone a month, and they've only been gone less than a week.
Yeah, the videos on Facebook, the clips that you put up there, I mean, it is like you're really watching CBS's Survivor.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's hard because a lot of our production members have kids too. Like I have mine, and I'm gone for 8 days, and I try to sneak away, but it's hard to be away from kids, and even for a couple of days, because I'm not away from mine very often. So even for production members, we get emotional too, because I'll call my kids and they'll ask me where I'm at and why I'm not home, and
I remember in season 3, my wife came to the merge feast because we live pretty close, and she came to the merge feast. I think she helped bring food for it, and I cry when I see her walking across the yard to the merge feast. I hug her like I have not seen her in a month. And it's just crazy.
It's fascinating. It's fascinating what no phone, isolation, new people. It's funny what all of that stuff does to you.
And hunger and exhaustion.
Hunger, exhaustion, all of it coupled together really is impactful. It's almost like, when you're younger and you go to summer camp and you have that experience with this group of people that you didn't know, and you think we're going to be friends forever, and it's just, and then you get home and there is this weird void that I remember and can recall.
That's it.
And so I think that's what they're experiencing after it's over.
Yeah, because I mean, I'd say 99% of my closest friends came from this. I would have never met Pete ever.
else?
And so now he's 69, I'm 37. Like, where else is a 37-year-old going to have a 69-year-old best friend that we would have never met any other way? And the other 2 guys that are on our production team,
Oh my gosh,
they're from season 2. That was 11 years ago, and the other one was season 3 as well. And we've stayed in contact, and they're 3 of my best friends, and I would have never met, because one's from Oklahoma, one's in Texas, so we would have never met any other way.
It's just ironic that Amos and I are close. Oh, in proximity. I'm in Fulton, he's in Union City, so we do get the advantage of seeing each other and maybe talking more. But yeah, with today's technology, I talk to Trevor and Parker all the time.
So, I am
37. I'm only 36.
So I'm curious about how you feel like as you grow, if you're intending to continue to grow and develop, and how can this region support what you're doing, because you're doing some amazing things that are promoting our area, that are, making people aware of Northwest Tennessee that wouldn't have been aware otherwise. What are some things that folks listening could do to help support you?
Well, that's growing. And I just asked Amos if I could talk on it first. I want to give some shout outs. We were interviewed this year by Gibson County GEMC magazine. I may get that right or wrong, but they've heard about us, and they came down and spent a morning with us and did photos and doing an interview. I hope that'll come out in the August or September edition of that magazine. We have a local business that has jumped on board so strongly financially supporting us, and that is Reelfoot Brewery in Union City. If you go into Reelfoot Brewery today, I had a lot of Reelfoot paraphernalia that I had in my office. Memorabilia, paraphernalia, memorabilia that I had in my office. So since I'm getting ready to retire, I've donated all that to them, and all that's hanging in there. They provided the last 2 seasons. They provide our finale experience. This last year we did it at the brewery, had our finale there, read the boats there. He gave us a great meal. So our growth, and Discovery Park has recognized us and allowed us to come out there. We didn't do that this season. I was kind of sad, because that's one of my favorite challenges that they can what's that called? Not challenges, but
Rewards.
that they can win. We also had Vaughn's Corner Barbecue this year. Donate barbecue for us for a meal. We have some of our alumni that brings a meal on Wednesday nights and feed us.
From Premier Building.
Premier Building donated us a storage building to keep our stuff in. I had the property, so it's sitting on a piece of property of mine, not where I live, but somewhere else. So that we have, because we were having our challenge supplies scattered to the winds, and now we have them all centrally located. We have
Bricks and Brews did our
Bricks and Brews has helped us, sponsored us on some food events. I have a guy that's a tree trimmer. We had some trees down on our location, and he came and cut out trees for us for no cost. So people awareness. I think the biggest thing, Scott, you're helping us with right here is just people need to be aware. We rarely have someone local apply. All of our applicants come from around the United States, from California and Washington to Maine and Connecticut and everywhere in between. And obviously we mentioned the foreign people that have applied and played. But helping us get the word out. And we can definitely use more support. Anything we get in support, we will try to recognize those people. But just getting the word out like you're doing. You heard about us and you thought it was interesting. The Gibson magazine heard about us and thought it'd be an interesting story.
This year we actually had Mariah Sharon from Survivor. She was on Survivor season 42, and her husband own a production company, KI Productions, and they actually came out and filmed a documentary. Mm-hmm. So I think she's trying to get that on Netflix or something. But so she was only supposed to be there for a couple of days and ended up spending like 4 or 5 days with us because she enjoyed her time so much. So they came out and filmed some stuff with us and things like that.
So you might see us on Netflix. Now she's also doing other live reality games, not just Surviving Reelfoot.
We were one of 11 that she featured.
But now she loved us to the point that she plans to apply to play in season 14.
One of the things,
by the way,
one of the things for Amos that I think about is oftentimes people, especially people that are just getting started, will ask, how can I be a successful production person working in Knoxville? And really the answer is just get started little, like what you did I'm sure people were skeptical when you said what you were going to do.
When I first started this was back when there wasn't hardly any of these, if any, around. So that was back when like meeting people off the internet was a bad thing. Like, you don't meet people off the internet. I remember my grandma was like, why are these people coming off like from everywhere? And then like I'm taking them off into the woods somewhere. So like people's, and even the earlier seasons, like some people were, young 19, 20-year-olds, and their parents were like, you're going where? To live in the woods of Tennessee? You're not going to have a phone. Like, you don't know these people. And so it was a different time back then.
Yeah, we had Charlie apply last year in season 13. Charlie was just 18 and was from the Northeast. And he was an alternate. He came in late. We had someone drop out, and we reached out to Charlie as an alternate to see if he would come. He only had like 2 days to get ready. So picture this. 68-year-old man calls Charlie and says, you want to come to Tennessee and play a game? How about I pick you up in Nashville? Oh, you won't have your phone. So I had to do a lot of talking with Charlie's dad. And give him a lot of videos to watch because people are skeptical. And Charlie ended up getting second place.
Oh, wow.
Was a great character in season 13. Loved it. Changed his life. We hear from Charlie all the time. His birthday was this week. We know everybody's birthdays. But yeah, and the local people, Scott, are more questioning. I mean, they don't realize we're the biggest game in the United States. We're season 14. We are widely known and sought after. People are turned down every year for this experience.
We have people this year that's already applied, and I think 2 of them, it's their 4th time applying.
To apply. And we have local people we can't get to apply that I think would be good because they think, you're doing what? What are you talking about?
So if Scott or I apply, you might pick us?
Well, you'd have to have a great interview. I can tell you that right now.
Yeah, Zach would be great. I will fully endorse Zach.
I endorse Scott.
Hey, Zach, we're looking for your application.
Yeah. And something
Hey,
else.
I really appreciate you guys taking the time to talk with us, and we're going to keep following and anything we can do. If someone's interested after listening to our chat today, if they're interested in applying, where do they go?
So they can find us on Facebook, Surviving Reelfoot. There's a link to, and we post periodically. We'll repost it. But they can go there. There's a post with our application link on there that they can, and then they can apply. We'll start reaching out to people probably in the next like 2-ish or so weeks. Start scheduling interviews. Not everybody that applies is going to be guaranteed an interview because we've already got almost half of what we had last year.
There's a video. Put some effort into the video. It's your first impression to the casting team, and you got to put a little effort into that video. Don't stress out over it.
Mm-hmm.
Just tell us who you are, but do so with a little energy and maybe a little fun twist. You don't have to be hanging from a tree. You don't have to be
You don't have to do special effects. Or
no
anything like
special
that.
effects, but we do need to see something to get an
That's
interview.
fantastic, man. You guys are doing such great work. We'll put a link in the show notes, as we said earlier. Thank you for what you're doing. Great job. And from Zach and I, anything we can do to help, let us know.
Okay, so if I need to Discovery Park again next year, is it one of you guys that I can talk to for that video?
100%. Anything
We
you
will
need.
be there. I'm going to step out on a limb and say on Sunday, June, I can't remember what it's 1st of June, we will use that as another reward challenge because the guys, the cast loved it. And we'll be in and out. We won't stay long. We want to see the video and the peccary from Fulton County.
And then I think the last year we did it, we walked them through like the Reelfoot Lake exhibit there as well.
Oh, yes, we did do that.
And then we do take them because we like to incorporate the area and as much as we can into rewards. So every year we'll take them to the Reelfoot Lake Museum down across from the Boyettes, and they'll get to go and see the wildlife, and
The naturalist talks to us.
yeah, they'll tell about the area and how the lake was formed and all that stuff as well. So we love to incorporate the local history, and then we love to incorporate local businesses, like with the brewery, donating stuff, anything we can do to bring business into Union City.
And we do. That's one thing you mentioned it, Scott. I know you got to go, but Surviving Reelfoot does bring money to the Union City, West Tennessee area. And through their hotel, they come back. They want to come back and bring their family to Reelfoot. They want to eat before, during, and after. They want to know where they can go eat. So we do bring dollars into the area.
Oh, there's no question. I was absolutely thinking of that. So, I really appreciate you guys, what you're doing, and I appreciate you for being here. And thank you to all the listeners who joined us today at Discovery Park of America. Shout out to our friends over at the Citizens Bank for sponsoring today's episode. Our mission here is to inspire children and adults to see beyond. To plan an experience here for you and your family, visit discoveryparkofamerica.com.